Tonight, the dangerous flooding across several states right into the Northeast in the hours ahead. Also tonight, the images coming in, the historic church suddenly collapsing, and the young dancer who died after eating cookies that had peanuts. Were they marked? And authorities tonight with the new recall. First, the flood threat from Texas all the way up to the Northeast at this hour. 25 states on alert for flooding and dangerous fog. Heavy rain from Chicago to New York City to Boston. Rob Marciano is here. Emergency crews rushing to the scene of that church collapse in Connecticut. The roof and steeple coming down. 2 congregations using this church. A miracle, only one person was inside and survived. The school shooter's mother in court. Ethan Crumbley's mother, Jennifer Crumbley, on trial in Michigan. Tonight, her messages about the day they bought the gun for their son and her post when her son went to the range. Later called to the school amid concerns over their son, what prosecutors say they never told the school. Their son opened fire hours later. Tonight, the border. Democrats and Republicans in the Senate working to come up with a bipartisan solution to address the crisis. The president has signaled he's willing to compromise. Tonight, has Donald Trump told them to stop working on any solution, signaling the race for president should come first. Harry Bruce at the White House. Here in New York City, meanwhile, Trump taking the stand in the civil defamation trial against him, already found liable by a jury. What Trump declared today in that courtroom. Aaron Katersky is there. Tonight, former Trump White House aide Peter Navarro sentenced to 4 months in prison. In Philadelphia, the urgent hunt and police now pleading for the public's help. What they've now revealed about the teenager charged with murder who broke free and the new surveillance they put out. The difficult images tonight, the frightening moments during a traffic stop on the highway. The trooper rushed to the hospital. He is okay, but how did this happen? Tonight, the young dancer who died after eating cookies that contained peanuts. Now the question, were those cookies marked? And this evening, that new recall after this tragic case. The little helicopter making historic landings on Mars for 3 years now. There is news coming in on that little chopper tonight. And America Strong, the little girl saved from a burning car with her mother. Decades later, the moment they all come face to face. It's moving.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night. We do begin tonight with the flooding alerts and dangerous driving in the hours ahead from Chicago to New York City to Boston. In fact, 25 states on alert all the way down to the south as this slow-moving, dangerous storm brings heavy rain and blinding fog. That rain stretching from the south right up into the Midwest, right over to the Northeast tonight before a second system then moves in. Several states bracing for more flooding yet again. The dense fog in upstate New York, a FedEx plane actually disappearing from view seconds after taking off. This was the Rochester airport today. Parts of Texas and Louisiana tonight with a month's worth of rain in just 3 days. North of Houston tonight, a disaster declaration from Montgomery County. Families rescued from flooded homes there. A flash flood emergency in Mandeville, Louisiana. More than a half foot of rain in 24 hours. You can see there the roads turned to rivers. Rob Marciano timing this out tonight, and Ariel Reshef with the images coming in. She leads us off tonight.
Tonight, relentless thunderstorms inundating the already saturated South, flooding whole neighborhoods and stranding families. A flash flood emergency in Mandeville, Louisiana, the city just north of New Orleans, swamped with more than 6 inches of rain. This school bus navigating streets that turned into rivers, cars barely making it through. The ones that didn't, abandoned in muddy ditches.
A lot of rain within the last 48 hours. Simmsport in Mississippi, 8 to 9 inches of rain.
North of Houston and Conroe, Texas, homes underwater.
Yikes. Oh, man, this is terrible. Look at the neighborhood in Conroe, like a swamp.
Multiple rescues in Montgomery County. Officials declaring a disaster. Families evacuating in neighboring San Jacinto County. Water inside their homes.
You don't know where you're going to be living after it's all over with, because we on a fixed income.
As the storms head east, an enormous swath of the country dealing with dense fog. This plane in Rochester barely visible as it took off this morning. And David, that system now moving into the Northeast with another one behind it, compounding the impact for millions through the whole weekend. David.
Ariel Reshef leading us off tonight. Thank you. Let's get right to senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. He's live in Texas tonight, of course, tracking this all the way from the south right up into the Northeast this evening. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. Yeah, we still have 2 more pulses of rain to get through the eastern third of the country, so we haven't really squeezed the alerts in too much. Still fog an issue, still flooding an issue. Now we've mixed in a little winter weather advisory for northern parts of New England with this next thing coming in. Heavy rain, a batch of it coming through Chicago, Cleveland, eventually New York tonight. And a wintry mix across northern New York, but still warm and soupy throughout the day tomorrow before the next pulse of rain comes through Georgia and the Carolinas. This one will get up into the northeast on Sunday. A little cold air sinks in Sunday night for a wintry mix along some spots. So, you know, it's still the winter, middle of winter, David. Stick through it.
That's right. Be careful on the roadways. Rob Marciano. Rob, thank you. We're going to turn next here tonight to that historic church suddenly collapsing in Connecticut. Emergency crews on the scene in New London, Connecticut tonight. Surveillance actually capturing the moment the roof and steeple, you see it coming down there on the First Congregation Church, crashing down. Officials tonight say 2 congregations actually used this church. They helped with meals for the community. It's a miracle. Only 1 person inside who survived this. Here's Victor Oquendo.
Tonight, surveillance video capturing the stunning collapse of a church steeple in downtown New London, Connecticut.
Possible explosion caller does see smoke.
The church roof and steeple crumbling in the middle of the day, shrouding city blocks in a haze of dust.
Church just went down.
Lester Harris had just parked his car across the street.
I heard this boom sound, and I looked to my left, and there was the church all in one piece, but then it just collapsed right down the middle.
Miraculously, the only person believed to be inside the building at the time escaped without injury.
She thought it was a windstorm, and so she didn't really pay it no mind until she heard them yelling, "Evacuate, evacuate."
The former First Congregation Church, built in the 1850s, now reduced to rubble. Teams using drones and heat sensors to comb through the wreckage. But tonight, officials are preparing for a demolition.
You can count the luck involved in this a million ways. The city was extremely fortunate in the manner of the collapse. It could have been a much bigger disaster for us.
Officials were not aware of any warning signs ahead of the church's collapse. The mayor says that the building had routine fire inspections, but it's unclear if there was a recent structural inspection. David?
Victor Oquendo with us tonight. Victor, thank you. Now to the school shooter's mother in court in Michigan, Jennifer Crumbley, the first parent to face charges in a child's deadly attack. Tonight, the mother's messages the day they bought the gun for their son and her post when her son went to the range. Days later, the parents were called to the school amid concerns over their son. But prosecutors say they never told the school their son opening fire hours later. Here's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, prosecutors painting Jennifer Crumbley as a negligent mother who could have stopped her son from killing 4 of his classmates on November 30th, 2021 in the worst school shooting in Michigan history.
Jennifer Crumbley didn't pull the trigger that day, but she is responsible for those deaths.
Prosecutors making the unprecedented move to charge Ethan Crumbley's parents with 4 counts each of involuntary manslaughter, arguing they were aware of his deteriorating mental health but still gifted him a gun days before the shooting and didn't secure it. They then failed to take him out of school the day of the massacre after officials met with the family and shared a troubling drawing that morning depicting his 9mm Sig Sauer handgun, a person shot, and messages like, "The thoughts won't stop, help me."
And that's what this case is about. It's about Jennifer Crumbley's willful disregard of the danger that she knew of.
That meeting with the school lasting just 11 minutes, no one checking the shooter's backpack for a gun, and within hours, he would open fire. Today, teacher Molly Darnell taking the stand in tears, describing the moment she was shot.
I locked eyes. He didn't hesitate.
Prosecutors showing the jury these messages between the Crumbley parents about purchasing the weapon. Jennifer Crumbley asking her husband, "You get gun?" And this Instagram post. Ethan and James Crumbley both got guns this week, testing them out at the range. In court today, Jennifer Crumbley emotional. Her attorney arguing she did the best she could as a mother, claiming the parents kept the gun under lock and key, and school officials didn't inform her of several red flags or consider her son a threat.
She did not have it on her radar in any way that there was any mental disturbance, that her son would ever take a gun into a school, that her son would ever shoot people.
Jennifer Crumbley is expected to take the stand in her own defense. Her son was 15 at the time of the shooting, and her lawyers want him to testify too. Her husband, James Crumbley, is set for his own trial in March. David?
All right, Trevor Ault with us tonight. Trevor, thank you. We turn now to the crisis at the border. Democrats and Republicans in the Senate working for months to come up with a bipartisan solution. President Biden signaling he's willing to compromise and to work with them, both parties. Tonight, has Donald Trump told Republicans, though, to stop working on any solution because of the race for president? Here's Mary Bruce.
With Republican and Democratic senators closing in on a rare bipartisan deal on tough new border security, tonight top Republicans concerned Donald Trump could derail the whole thing. Republicans have been pushing President Biden for a deal for months.
I'm ready to act.
The Senate's top Republican, Mitch McConnell, has urged his colleagues to seize the moment.
This is a unique opportunity.
But Trump now gearing up for a general election rematch against Biden and hoping to deny the president a win on immigration, has been urging lawmakers not to make a deal with Democrats, posting, "I do not think we should do a border deal at all unless we get everything." Senator Marco Rubio, who recently endorsed Trump, then tweeting, "A deal will allow Biden to pretend he's doing something about the border, but it won't solve the problem." McConnell telling Republicans in a closed-door meeting that with Trump now likely the party's nominee, they are in a quandary because they don't want to do anything to undermine his campaign. Some Republicans today calling Trump's move outrageous.
The fact that he would communicate to Republican senators and congresspeople that he doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it is really appalling.
Senator James Lankford, one of the top Republican negotiators, dismayed.
There are some that are saying, hey, to protect President Trump, we need to make sure we don't vote on this. I don't agree on that.
Today, Trump's close ally Lindsey Graham trying to appeal directly to the former president.
What we're trying to do will help him if he gets to be president. I will say to President Trump, if we can put this package together the way I hope it falls into place, that you'll have more tools to secure America than you've ever had.
And tonight, Donald Trump is doubling down on social media, posting that a border deal would be a gift to Democrats. And while Senator McConnell has been blunt about the new political challenges here, tonight he is telling Republicans he still supports this compromise and wants this deal to pass. But even if it does, it still faces an uphill battle over in the House. And of course, Republicans have said without a deal on the border, they will not pass any more funding for the fight in Ukraine. David, all of this tied together.
Mary Bruce tonight. Mary, thank you. Meantime, Donald Trump in court here in New York City, taking the stand in the civil defamation trial against him. Already found liable by a jury, what Trump declared today as he walked out. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, Donald Trump testifying in his own defense. But before he even took the stand, lawyers for E. Jean Carroll told the judge they were concerned Trump might see a political benefit from intentionally turning this trial into a circus. For Trump, the campaign trail has wound through the courtroom. He wasn't required to attend this trial or his civil fraud trial, but he showed up anyway to both, 13 times.
Thank you very much.
Cameras following his every move, his political team blasting out emails asking for money. Today, the former president testified he 100% stands by his comments calling Carroll a liar, though a jury had already found him liable for sexually assaulting her. Carroll has said she's received a barrage of death threats from Trump's supporters. Asked today if he ever instructed anyone to harm her, Trump said, "No, I just wanted to defend myself, my family, and frankly, the presidency." In an instant, it was over. After just 3 minutes on the stand, Trump left the court, muttering, "This is not America." Trump was not required to attend this trial, but David, he's made the case part of his campaign. He's already been held liable for sexual assault. Tomorrow, the jury here is going to begin deciding how much money, if any, Trump should pay Carroll for defamation. David? And you'll be there as well. Aaron Katursky tonight, thank you. And in federal court in Washington, former Trump White House aide Peter Navarro sentenced to 4 months in prison for contempt of Congress. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Fire. Tonight, a federal judge scolding former Trump senior White House aide Peter Navarro and sentencing him to 4 months in prison for stonewalling the congressional investigation into January 6th. You are not a victim, Judge Ahmet Mehta told Navarro, who was also fined nearly $10,000. You're not the object of a political prosecution. Judge Mehta saying Congress had a job to do and you made it harder. But Navarro, after the hearing, was still defiant, even as he was heckled outside of the courthouse.
This is a case of first impressions that I have said from day one is destined for the Supreme Court.
Navarro was utterly dismissive of the January 6th committee, refusing to testify and never providing the committee a single document. He claimed he was protected by executive privilege, but the judge said there was no evidence Trump ever uttered the words executive privilege. Today, Navarro quickly appealed the case in an effort to stay out of prison. David?
Pierre Thomas live in Washington. Pierre, thank you. To the economy tonight and more promising news, the nation's output of goods and services, the GDP, growing 3.3% during the fourth quarter of last year, far outpacing expectations. President Biden today in Wisconsin on the news.
Well, thanks to the American people, America now has the strongest growth, the lowest inflation rate of any major economy in the world.
Of course, the White House also pointing out it comes amid new record highs in the stock market. When we come back here in Philadelphia at this hour, the urgent manhunt for an escaped teenage murder suspect. Police have put out new surveillance tonight. And the young dancer who died after eating cookies that had peanuts. Now the recall in a moment here. Tonight, police out with new surveillance in the manhunt for an escaped 17-year-old murder suspect in Philadelphia. Shane Pryor running from authorities at Children's Hospital in Philly. Surveillance showing him in the lobby of a nearby building asking to use a phone he left after being turned away. Authorities now questioning a driver who may have picked him up. Tonight, the frightening moments for an Oklahoma trooper during a traffic stop on I-40 in Canadian County. He does survive this. The trooper standing on the passenger side of the white SUV right there. That black SUV coming suddenly slams into the vehicle. Incredible. The trooper sent flying. He gets up on his own. The trooper is going to be okay. The driver is both okay. When we come back, that young dancer who died after eating cookies containing peanuts, were they on the label? And they have put out a recall tonight. To the index of other news, a supermarket chain issuing a cookie recall tonight after a young New York City dancer died from a peanut allergy. Orla Baxendale, a professional dancer, went into anaphylactic shock after eating Stu Leonard's vanilla Florentine cookies made by Cookies United. Her family claims peanuts were not listed on the label. Stu Leonard says it was never told the ingredients had changed now to include peanuts. Cookies United claims it notified the store in July. Tonight, NASA's Ingenuity helicopter has flown its last flight on Mars after 3 years of landing 72 flights, about 11 miles on Mars, sending back incredible images. When we come back here, the little girl saved from a burning car. What's now happened nearly 30 years later?
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years.
Finally tonight here, the little girl saved from a burning car. Nearly 30 years later, the moment that moved us. America Strong. Tonight, the image nearly 30 years ago in a local New York City paper. Two NYPD officers, Detective Charles Claudio and Detective Eric Ocasio. They had just pulled a 2-year-old girl, Denise Gomez, out of a burning car, saving her along with her mother and younger brother. You hear about the rescues every day across this country, but rarely do you see the power of a life changed in an instant. Tonight, the little girl who they saved is now an NYPD officer, smiling at graduation with her mother, following in her rescuer's footsteps. And the NYPD bringing that young officer face to face with the two men who saved her.
Nice to meet you.
Dios te bendiga.
You too. Hey.
Documenting the moment.
Nice to meet you. Hi. You okay?
Que Dios te bendiga. God bless you.
Oh. Saving her 28 years ago. Police Commissioner Edward Caban with a surprise.
I am proud to present Police Officer Denise Gomez with shield number 15417. Formerly worn by Police Officer Eric Ocasio.
Good evening, David.
Retired Detective Ocasio.
To know that 30 years later, Police Officer Gomez became a police officer due to our actions that day. Is very special and near dear to my heart.
And with us too, retired Detective Claudio.
I'm so glad that everything has worked out for them, and I'm blessed to be part of it. It's just amazing.
And tonight, checking in on patrol on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Hey, David.
Officer Gomez.
Here I am, serving and protecting, doing what I love. I finally met my heroes who saved my life. Thank you for checking in. Have a good night and stay safe.
Officer Gomez following in her rescuer's footsteps. Just incredible. We honor our first responders. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.